When you say making moves, it's just kind of something that people say casually, but you're really the thought leader when it comes to like, what is the dollar value of making moves look like in this world? It's just so fascinating to me. Globally, we're so influenced by hip hop, and it's like hip hop really is the most powerful creative force that connects people all across the world.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting you say that because I've often had the conversation with people about what is the most influential cultural force in the world. Some folks say hip hop, some folks say Hollywood and just entertainment more broadly. I think the difference though, and this is why I often go back to hip hop, is that because this is a culture that expands mediums, primarily it's audio, and given audio just can travel and I think is going to be a bit easier to transfer, whether it's someone identifying with the Jay-Z, Beyonce, or Drake song, that can hit folks everywhere across the world, regardless of socioeconomic backgrounds or what opportunities look like from a business perspective there. Versus if you look at some of the biggest movies that may exist, movies or TV shows, sometimes those can be a bit harder to translate internationally in all of those same type of areas. We've seen it with hip hop, whether you see the influence that some of these artists had. I don't know if that necessarily exists in the same way for all of the biggest movie stars, especially some of the US centric ones. So that's why I do think that hip hop's force there, because it's not just the audio, as I mentioned, the audio is paramount first, but it's the fashion. It's what we're seeing now in gaming. It's how people speak. It's how people dress and act and the vibe that they have and the influence that it comes from. That is a culture that I think expands beyond the mediums itself. So that's why I often go back and remind folks that yes, it's hip hop that is the most influential cultural force in the world.
It's a way of appearing and showing up in life, even if you don't necessarily identify with the foundational events that created hip hop.